So Pam would like to learn how to sail in waves, but it's really difficult describing it because there's a combination of moves that you have to make. So we decided to try something different where she would film me and I would wear a head cam. So the first part of this is going to be focusing on what I see, what I'm trying to do, and the second part will be my body movements, trying to catch these waves. Because the waves are small, and because they're close together, and because we weigh way too much, really, for these conditions, my movements are exaggerated, which is probably good from a training point of view, but obviously some of these moves would be a little aggressive for a race condition. I should also mention that I am by no means the fastest person at this, so if you see something that you disagree with or want to make suggestions, I would love to hear from you. It's also pretty funny because most of the waves we were able to catch, we pretty much flattened because of our weight. So we're going to stop it here for a moment. You can see that a wave is developing under the boat, and you can see the back of the next wave in front. What you try to do here is kind of accelerate and grab it, but as you see, the wave disappears. So now we're in a bit of extra pressure, and this is perfect for bearing off and grabbing a wave. But as you can see, there's no waves to grab, so you just kind of skim along and hope that something develops, but in this case it didn't. So now we've got good pressure on starboard tack, and there are a couple of good waves. The problem is the waves were not at right angle to the wind, so it actually wasn't as good this day on starboard tack. Now, sailing in open water or in a bigger lake, you wouldn't even consider these to be catchable. But for a small lake, these are actually quite catchable if you look up ahead of the left. So the trick is to find one, bear off, and try to make it work. Like this one. In these conditions, it might last for 2 or 3 seconds, it might last for half a second, but every little bit counts. And you've always got to be looking around for the next one. Here's another one. And if you head up just when you're on it, you can ride it a bit longer. Here's a good one, and this turned out to be one of the best rides of the day. You could see another good wave developing up ahead. And of course, with the extra pressure, everything is easier. The only problem is that sometimes this type of camera mount gets a little bit cold. So now we're going to replay the same sequence, focusing on the body movement. I'm sitting a little bit further back than I would normally because I've got the extra weight in the front. Not much, but just a little bit extra. So it's a combination of moving in and out and back and forth, trying to scoot the boat forward when you think you can catch a wave. And if I think I'm able to catch a wave, I might try to hop a little bit just to make the boat weigh a little less for an instant. Others are much better at this than I am. This is the starboard tack sequence that felt good, but the waves were just at the wrong angle to really make work. So back onto port, that felt much better. So here's a little bit of carving, just a little tiny bit. The only reason why I'm able to do this is because the boat's flat. If the boat's heeling at all, you have weather helm and you just won't be able to make this work. So the pressure drops a little bit and I come in and then the wind picks up again. Pressure's much more fun. These waves here were the best of the day, but they require quite a bit of work to catch. One advantage of working these waves is it keeps you warm, and this is why I was able to stay warm when the hand was actually getting cold.